So, good afternoon to everyone. Today, I'm going to deal with the topic from homeland to hostland, diaspora identity, and Rachna Joshi's Leaving India. Here is the table of content. My research question is how do Indian diaspora writer, including Rachna Joshi in Living India, represent displacement, hybridity, and nostalgia in their work to reflect both personal identity, struggle, and border pattern of global migration. And my hypothesis is through work like Rachna Joshi, Living India, Indian diasporic literature portray migration as a transformative experience where displacement create a cultural tension, hybridity become a means of negotiating new identities, and nostalgia function as an emotional anchor to India's civilizational heritage while navigating the challenges of a hostland. So, introduction is that the diasporic literature explore the experience of people who move away from their homeland and negotiated life in cultural context. It deal with a theme of migration, nostalgia, identity, belonging, highlight the tension between roots and routes. Such a writing often reflect a feeling of loss, displacement, and longing, while also portraying resilience, adaptation, and cultural hybridity. Then this is the meaning of diaspora, that what is a diaspora. So diaspora population such as a member of an ethnic or religious group that originated from the same place but dispersed to different location. So one kind of religious people or community that live in one land, but they have to disappear because of the profession or some kind of riots or anything. The word diaspora comes from the ancient Greek diasporian, meaning to sow over. And the concept of diaspora has long been used to refer to the Greek in the Hellenic word and to the Jews after the fall of Jerusalem in the early 16th century BCE. So basically, it's start from the Hellenic word, and Jews are migrate from Jerusalem, and beginning in the 1950s and 1916, and still it has a wide context in modern time. So here we find the historical wave of diaspora. So in old referred to labor, artisan, and trader who experience new land for work money. So here we find the old tradition of trade. So this is the main reason of diaspora. When British come to India, at that time we find that they come for a trade. So it also we can consider as a diaspora or migration. Then in medieval time, British imperialism caused mass movement of artists, labor, and soldier. In today's time, the skilled people are migrate from development economy for a better venture, especially from IT, medicine, nano and space technology, engineer, finance and management sector. So now people have a different kind of profession, worldwide trade, globalization. So this is the main reason of today's time diaspora. Then here are some characteristic of diasporic literature. It focus on displacement. It not that kind of displacement that we image, but one shift to from another place because of their choice. And a core thematic exploration is identity, displacement, and the search for belonging. Focus on the complexity of living between two worlds. Then cultural tension, that they have two culture, one from their homeland and one from their hostland. So this is how we find the cultural tension. And a theme of loss, author often engage with the theme of loss and displacement, depicting the emotional toll of leaving one's homeland behind. For further linguistic fluidity. Because of the migration or diaspora, they not have one language, but as they have a two culture or more than two culture, same way they have also linguistic fluidity in their identity. and hybridity and creolization. As we find the Homi Ke Bhabha is a concept of hybridity, or Salman Rushdie mentioned in their work. So it is the hybridity and challenging narratives. Because of their two identity or two cultural impact, or more than one language influence, their narrative change from their perspective. And memory and nuance, it offer a rich and nuanced portrait by drawing on a personal and collective memories and illuminating the impact of migration on family and community. So because of the migration, they have the effect their memory and nuance and also ideology. Then applying the framework to Living India, as we know that Rachna Joshi's poem Living India is also a part of a diasporic writing. So why this poem show as a diasporic poem? So displacement and migration, through this line, why did I leave India and come to North America? So here we clearly find that she shift from India to North America. So it shows the displacement and migration. Then cultural hybridity and identity negotiation. So her line is, this really seems brave new naked world. So here she mentioned the world. She not view from the perspective of African or Indian, but she globalized the identity and negotiate one identity with other. Then contrast of homeland and hostland. So she clearly mentioned that North America was a clean, sanitized, almost a sterile, no ruins, no myth, no ghost. So this is his perception about hostland, North America. For homeland, she writes that India is a stark, ancient, and ugly, magnificent, afflicting, or degrading. So also here she take his point of view about India. Then nostalgia and connection to history. So major concern of diaspora literature is nostalgia. Because one or another way they they recall their native place or homeland. So 5,000 years of continuous civilization lie in a wait like a doting grandparent. So diaspora literature in Indian English language. So Rachna Joshi is not only one writer who talk about diaspora, but there are a list of many writers who talk about diaspora and also mention in their works. So first and famous is the Salman Rushdie, a prominent writer of Indian English literature. In Midnight's Children and Imaginary Homeland, these two are his work. And in Midnight's Children, we find he talk about hybridity, one then more cultural, that he write from another country, but he mentioned the magic realism, all of these things from India. Then V.S. Naipaul, a profound knowledge of diasporic agony and search for roots are conveyed in his fiction. So his novels like A Way in the World and A House for Mr. Biswas, two are a major diasporian work. Then the Jhumpa Lahiri, a second generation diasporic writer, portrays character caught in the tension between their Indian and American identity as they seek equilibrium. So his famous novel, The Namesake, is the most known example of diasporic literature. Another are Bharti Mukherjee, a notable diasporic author whose novel have been analyzed for her style and syntax. His novel like Jasmine, The Tiger's Daughter, it shows the diasporic content in her work. Then Chitra Banerjee Devkaruni, she follows the themes of identity, cultural dislocation, and search for belonging. So these are characters we find in her work Arranged Marriage. Then Kiran Desai, conflict of migration, globalization, and cultural displacement through a character. And has her famous novel is The Inheritance of Loss. In it, she mentioned diasporic element like migration or nostalgia, displacement, all those things. Then also we find that diaspora is global concept. So also we find cinematic representation of diaspora in Bollywood. So the film industry is an active agent in identity creation and the Indian diaspora. Imagination of India is strongly informed by Bollywood movie. So as we know that in India we find the major uh, Bollywood movies that follow the diasporic concept. One is Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, a 1998 film portrayed diasporic identity through the negotiation of modern romance and family value within a globalized and Western setting. So it mixes the both identity, Indian and foreigner. Then Namaste London, 2007 film, highlight the cultural clash and reconciliation between Indian tradition and Western lifestyle in the life of second generation immigration. Then My Name is Khan, 2010 film, examine diasporic struggle with racism, religion, and belonging in post 9/11 American while affirming Indian identity abroad. So this how this movie also based on Indian culture, but also reflect their point of view about another country or another culture. So here is a conclusion that Rachna Joshi's Leaving India reflect the essence of diasporic literature, migration, nostalgia, and identity struggle between homeland and hostland, like a work of Salman Rushdie, Jhumpa Lahiri, V.S. Naipaul, and Bharti Mukherjee. It shows how diasporic voice bridge past and present, carrying culture memory wise negotiating new reality. Final quote or a concluding thought is, here you are to foraging for home, to foraging for here, never enough for a both. So this quotation from a diaspora blue by Joma Umebnyo. It says that we have a both perspective, not completely from homeland or not completely from hostland. Here is my references, and now you are free to ask question.
So my question is, can diasporic literature be considered a bridge between cultures, or does it create a separate identity of its own?
Of course, the diasporic literature be considered as a bridge, because as I mentioned in last quote that there is no perspective from a homeland or hostland. It is a mixing of two culture. So we have to consider as a bridge between two culture, not as a separate ideology or a separate identity.
So, Krishna, my question is: is diasporic literature more about loss and nostalgia, or about opportunity and hybridity?
So it would be both, as a lost and nostalgia and opportunity and hybridity. So writer like Rachna Joshi and Jhumpa Lahiri are talk about loss and nostalgia, and writer like Salman Rushdie, he talk about opportunities and hybridity. But according to me, it should be opportunity and hybridity, because when we think about nostalgia or personal point of view, it could be orthodox thought. So we have to think it broadly as opportunity and hybridity. This is from my side. Thank you, everyone.